At the base of the Atherton Tablelands is where you'll find us in this video. And this is camp, Fishery Falls Holiday Park. Being a holiday park, you get all the usual amenities. And being close to the escarpment means a lot of rain. So we get to enjoy a lush and tropical camp spot full of palms, crotons, cordylines. It's our kind of place. Plus, it's only a half an hour drive south of Cairns.
Okay. Look, down low, up top, on my way to the bag at the bus stop.
We're at Fishery Falls Park, and really cool place to stay, really private, just outside of Cairns. We've been staying here for a week or so now, perfect for our needs, really close to where we went out to Russell Island from Derail, so that's why we picked it. And it's been pretty rainy the past couple of days, so we haven't really been able to get out and do too much because it's just been torrential. I think wet season's coming a little bit early this year. But this is our last day before we move up to Port Douglas. And I've heard that there's this really cool waterfall that you can only get access to if you're staying in a caravan park. And I've gone through a couple of lock gates or, private land signs. So they've assured me that that's fine to go through. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what's at the top of here. Not many holiday parks you visit have their own waterfall behind them, so I thought that was probably pretty cool to show you guys.
Down low, up top, on my way to the bag at the bus stop.
There's running water and streams pretty much all the way along this path on the left, so I don't know where the turn-off is to the waterfall or if I just stay on this path all the way, but I think hearing running water like that is a good sign, so that sounds pretty loud, so I might just jump in now and see if we're there. Okay, I saw a little pile of rocks and thought that that might be someone trying to give me a helpful hint that if I came in there'd be a waterfall, plus you can hear all this running water, so I thought that might be the waterfall as well. Shows we're on the right track, maybe just come off a little bit too early, but still pretty cool. Definitely full of surprises, this place. I don't think that was what we're looking for, so I won't jump in there and assume that's what they described and they just oversold the hell out of it. I'll keep walking and hopefully I'll hear another loud body of water, or maybe a sign would help, and then I'll know I'm in the right place, or I'll come back to that, maybe that was it, who knows.
One place Dunc and I cannot pass up coming to is Choccy Market. I've come to Rusty's to get some fruit and veg. I love this place. You have all like your classic fruit and veg, and then you have some weird and wonderful things that you've never tasted before. So I came back from Rusty's Market with way too much fruit and vegetables, as I knew I would. At every place I go to, as much as I can, I want to go to the local markets and just come up with like a new recipe, or at least try something that either I haven't tried before, or I haven't cooked before, or maybe something that I've only tried in a restaurant. So I found these, which are black sapote, I think is how you say it, or it might be black sapot. Not sure. They're obviously not black at the moment as well because they're not ripe, but these are otherwise known as the chocolate pudding fruit. So this might just be the best sales trick I've ever heard, but telling someone that fruit tastes like chocolate pudding, well, if it's the case, then this is what my kids are going to be eating when we have kids. But right now, I'm just really eager to find out whether that's a myth, or actually whether this will taste like chocolate pudding when they're ripe. Market stall holder said give it about 4 to 6 days, and pretty much when you want to throw these in the bin, when they look like they're past it, I suppose like a really, really ripe banana, then that's when you want to eat it. So he said, be patient. Right now they're really firm, and he said when it's ripe it'll be a lot softer, and you'll probably be able to push your finger in. So I'm going to put these in the cupboard, give them 4 to 6 days. In the meantime, have a think about what I'm going to do with it. Maybe have it as a dessert. He said it was also really nice for breakfast. So if you chocolate pudding for breakfast, gets my vote every time. So I'll have a think about what to do with this, but I'm really eager to find out. And if you don't know, then stay tuned, because as soon as these are ripe, I'm going to dig straight into them and find out.
I'm hoping none of these signs really pertain to me, and I can be up here. I'm just going to go off what the holiday park people said. So if I'm not, then seeing this is a water supply station, I'm wondering if they're actually taking water directly from these rapids and this like freshwater stream that I've got all the way along here, and maybe even the waterfall at the top, and that's what's feeding the local area, or even Cairns, I don't know, with water. That's pretty cool. Can't get much fresher than that. Straight off the Atherton Tablelands, or straight off the Tablelands down this river. Obviously probably filtered and treated, but I wouldn't mind drinking that, and I'm assuming that I have been since I've been here, so tastes pretty good to me. Humidity, man. You can probably see all the sweat just forming. I've been wiping it off constantly on my face, but the humidity is just like, I'll look it up, but I'm gonna go with like 80 to 90% humidity. I could be very wrong, but I'll get a screenshot after this and find out. But whew, tried to go for a run yesterday and was just absolutely dripping by the time I got back. I want to blame it more on the humidity than my fitness levels, but whew, these tropicals, Tropical North Queensland, you are hot and wet. So I've gotten to the top, and as you can see, there's a do not enter sign for this walkway, signed by the CEO of Cairns Council. So I assume that with that lock, they don't want you going up this path. But I'm pretty sure this is where the waterfall is, and I can kind of see it behind here, and it looks like a path along the other side, just along the river. So I don't know why this is locked off. I assume there's probably something to do with the water plant that they're doing down here, but I think we can still get to the waterfall if I head along the rocks.
Unfortunately, the rocks were a little bit too slippery to cross with all my camera equipment, but luckily, someone who, I will admit, does look suspiciously like me but definitely wasn't me, decided to take a quick look at the waterfall at the top of the walkway. Thank God for those long-lost twins showing up right when you need them.
Try and get grit, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slack in myself.
I'm gonna be honest, if you want to get to see that waterfall, the actual waterfall that, other than the swimming hole down here, that you would come and see, you do have to climb up the barrier that says no entry. So I mean, it's pretty cool to see. Technically you're not meant to do it, or maybe that just absolves them of any insurance claims, but if you want to see the waterfall, you got to climb it. There's no real way around it unless you want to bush bash, so I think it's just easier to climb up if you're willing, or accepting that you might get in trouble for doing so. But it seems like a pretty common thing, seeing as recommended by the holiday park, so I think we're pretty sweet. Cool waterfall though. Might jump in and go for a little swim, see we came all this way, cool off for the walk back. Super slippery as well, so that's probably another good reason not to climb up here. It's all right going up, but this metal grating going down is super slippery. time to go in. Woo. Yeah, it's fresh. Definitely fresh, but refreshingly fresh, not horribly fresh.
With Aussie marine animals, this little guy is a freshwater crayfish. In New South Wales, we call it a yabby. If you're from Queensland, redclaw, and WA, a marron. As kids, we spend our summers trying to catch the buggers. And if you've ever felt a pinch on your ankles when dangling them in the water, it was probably from the pincers on one of these guys.
Pretty cool spot to come for a swim. Awesome that the Fishery Falls sort of holiday park where we're staying has that behind it. I love the freshness of that water. There's something so cleansing, so refreshing for your soul. Jumping in like crystal clear, fresh water under a waterfall. I don't know, man. Like, you can't get that sort of fresh feeling like I do now from having a shower. You only get that from going in like the natural water. I don't know what it is, I don't know how you explain it, but it's just this fresh, light, perfectly chilled out feeling. I really could have stayed there for a couple more hours, but it's probably time for me to head back to the caravan park because Soph's there and we've got to pack up the caravan because we are heading out of Fishery Falls today. We're rolling out and we're heading up to Port Douglas. So the rest of the adventure kicks off there.
Just left Fishery Falls campground, heading up the coast past Cairns now to Port Douglas. The weather is actually looking pretty nice. We're getting into wet season now, so we've had a few days of rain, but we're hoping that the next couple of days are going to be as per the weather forecast with some sunshine so we can get up further past Port Douglas and explore Daintree and Cape Trip, which I am really excited about. I've never been, and I'm really excited to see where the rainforest actually meets the beach.
That's it. So David Attenborough described it as the most extraordinary place on Earth, where the rainforest or two natural wonders or World Heritage listed sites meet each other. So that's pretty cool.
One of the places that is really extraordinary is the north of Queensland.
Okay, so we've woken up this morning and we are heading into Port Douglas for the markets. Sophie always makes us go to the markets when we come to Port Douglas.
It's pretty much how I've planned our whole T&Q trip to make sure we're here today.
Every single time we're anywhere near this region, we always happen to be here on Sunday and have to come to the markets, but they are pretty cool. And I'm hoping, because there's always loads of like tropical fruit, coconuts, and last time we had this lady who did this amazing it was cacao nibs ice cream that she assured us was like gluten-free, dairy-free, and tasted amazing. And I'm going to say that it was healthy as well, even though it probably wasn't. Hopefully she's still around, because it was about 10 years ago we came. So yeah, pretty excited to come into Port Douglas and see the place has changed.
I've been taking mornings slowly. Waking up.
On my first trip to Australia, Duncan's dad was living up here, and we spent a good amount of time exploring the area. Needless to say, Port Douglas holds a special place in my heart, and what's not to love? It's positioned perfectly with the Great Barrier Reef accessible offshore and the Daintree rainforest an easy drive to the north. Plus, whilst it's growing in size, it's still managed to retain its relaxed seaside village vibes. But the best part, in my opinion, are the Sunday markets. They're my absolute favourite place to come to experience and taste the tropics. Officially having chocolate ice cream for breakfast. We've actually got two different flavours. This is the new, improved, innovative edition, which is chocolate and chili. Not sure what the spices are actually in here, but it's actually quite hot.
So good that she's still here after all this time. And unlike most ice creams that I'm not really meant to have because of dairy, this only has 4 ingredients. So cacao, coconut nibs, coconut nib agave to sweeten it, I believe she said, and yeah, some coconut milk. So yeah, I don't even feel bad eating it, other than the fact that I'm having ice cream before I've eaten anything else today. And I'm gonna go try the coconut ice cream as well, but other than that, I don't feel bad eating it.
The market also sells a ton of clothes, jewellery and other interesting knickknacks, most made locally. Much to my delight, and of course Duncan's displeasure. I actually got this skirt in Port Douglas a few years back. This is where an intended hour at the markets easily digresses into an entire morning, and if I had my way, an entire day. Just finished at the markets, which I would say was a big success. Not only was the lady who Duncan and I had seen 5 years ago and 10 years ago there, who sells the amazing chocolate ice cream, also came across another lady or family that sells heaps of different coconut products, coconut chips, coconut ice cream, coconut bowls, just really cool stuff they do out of their family home. So I had a second load of ice cream. This time it was cookies and cream and a sour sop and coconut flavour, which is actually pretty nice, like a sort of cross between banana and lemon flavour. And that was more like a sorbet, so all made out of coconut milk, equally delicious. But now I reckon it's time to head back to the caravan and maybe eat something more substantial. To come back from Port Douglas markets, I've decided I'm going to do a pork dumpling recipe, making the dumplings from scratch using almond flour and coconut flour and heaps of other ingredients. Douglas markets, I wanted to create something else to go with the dumplings, not just eat heaps of dumplings for dinner, that would be delicious. So I saw some green papaya. I'm going to make a green papaya salad. I bought these Australian coconut chips too. One, because I love coconut and you can never have too much coconut in anything, and a bit of extra crunch for the salad.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around.
I am putting in way too much filling into this, and some of them are not clothing.
Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through. Nobody can get what you've done. Nobody can get what you're going through.
The dumplings are in the pan, looking good, smelling good. It's now 8:05. I am really warm. I've been going for about 5 hours with this and filming, so it's taken heaps longer than I thought, but they've turned out really well so far. I've been nibbling a little bit and it tastes good when it hasn't been cooked. And the filling tastes really nice. The mixture was really easy to work with. It just took me heaps of time. You can tell by my face, I'm now exhausted. It is 10 to 10. So we've just finished eating dinner, which I didn't film. We actually were running late because I took so long making dinner for a Skype session with some of our friends. So we ate dinner whilst, well, FaceTiming them. To quote Duncan, he said something like, to be honest, I was just so hungry by the time we actually finished dinner, because it took me about 5 hours, that it tasted amazing. So I'm just going to take that as it tasted amazing. Now I think it's pretty much bedtime. I've got to clean the kitchen and then I think I'm going to go to sleep. Because tomorrow we are heading to Cape Trip.
Join us next week when we head to one of the most extraordinary places on Earth. The only place where two World Heritage Sites meet, with dense rainforests teeming with life and hidden beaches around every corner. But don't take my word for it. Here is a taste of what's to come.
God, that was bad.